All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the recap. Michael D'Angelo, joined as always by my partner in crime, Mr. Big D, Daryl Ortiz, and we are now 50% of the way through SummerSlam weekend. Since it's a weekend now, two shows, which, for me, honestly, I'm a purist. I'd rather they just do one really great show on one day, but I understand that you got to break it up into
Yeah,
two separate days because they have so many. It's 12 matches total, I believe,
yeah, it's 12
split
matches.
in 2 days. So Saturday was our first run through Big D.
Yeah, and you know what? It was okay.
Yeah. It was
I know
very, very lackluster is how
I
I'll
can
say it.
already hear people in the class. Not everybody should have a mic. Man, you can shut up. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have one, and you're listening to me, so just listen. But yeah, I feel like really not like I was expecting more shocks and surprises than there were, and I think that's probably maybe my fault because I feel like the hype up going into WrestleMania was always, I mean, sorry, SummerSlam was because it feels like a WrestleMania the way they were hyping it up, like big
Yeah.
matches and 12 match card, 2 nights in MetLife, and you know what I mean. Like I was, they moved it because it was supposed to be in Minnesota, and they moved it, and so I'm like, okay, they're trying to make it bigger, better. We had a celebrity host who just said hi and then sat in
I
front
know.
row.
I was like, I thought
So
Cardi B was like hosting the whole thing, and
yeah,
then it was like she's
she came
like,
out like after the first couple matches, and then they're like, "Hey, there she is. Okay, cool,
yeah,
sit down." And that was
yeah,
it. And I was
that
like,
was
"That's
it.
not cool. Like, let her be out there. Like, let her be backstage. Like, where's the backstage shenanigans? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's." But I get it. They had a stack card to get through. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of surprises.
Not really.
For some, maybe. I know you and I talked about this. I know we kind of had our gimmies that we saw. We're like, I think was probably what's going to happen. We could talk about that later. But first match we had up starting the show was Roman Reigns, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. I didn't understand why this was the first match of the night because
Yeah.
they could definitely, it's Roman Reigns' return, back teaming up again with Jey in full force. So they even had like somewhat matching attire, which I thought was really cool. They did the Bronson Reed on, was it on Raw, taking away Roman's shoes, so Roman got to debut his new kicks, which were pretty cool looking actually. I dig the
Yeah.
black and white, but I mean, nothing really eventful of that happened unless I missed anything other than, of
Not really.
course, they
Jay and
picked up
Roman
the win.
winning. Yeah,
Yeah.
which for me it was like you kind of knew that was going to happen. You knew Jay and Roman were going to win. It was at the expense of Reed and Breaker, which I felt like is a bummer because you built them up to be like these two monster forces are together. Who can
Yeah.
stop them? Well, they can easily be stopped by Jay and Roman Reigns, apparently.
You know what, though? I will note, I did like where Jay and Roman hit the 1D,
Yeah,
which I thought was
yeah,
cool. And
that
that
was
was
cool.
Roman's idea. Roman was like, let's go. And Jay was like, all right. And they did it, which I thought was super cool. I thought that was great.
Agreed.
And then the this just, I guess, is more for the storytelling because you had Roman push Jay out of the way when Braun Breaker was gonna hit the spear, and he ate the spear instead because Jay was the legal man.
Yeah,
So I guess more storytelling really than anything in this match. I don't
yeah,
know.
it was, and but it was like the outcome. You kind of knew it was going to happen. I feel bummed out that I wouldn't want to try to do anything to set back Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed at this point since they've
They had a lot of
built this
steam going
faction.
in too. That's they had a lot of
Yeah.
momentum coming in. So that was kind of
So
also why I was like, that's interesting.
yeah, I'm like, but it is what it is. It was a
Yeah.
good start. Good
Yeah,
start to
it
the
was a
show.
good start. Don't get me wrong, good match. After that, we had the women's tag team titles, which was Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Raquel and Roxanne. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss took those titles. I
Oh, I
noticed
thought
that Alexa's kind of stepping away from the Fiend stuff now. So she kept the song, which I think is way better than her other one.
yeah.
But I noticed like even her jacket and everything, like she's kind of it's kind of hinting that she's going to kind of change it up just a little bit, which is fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they
they
really
looked
teased like she was going to be part of the Wyatt Six, and then
they
it
did.
feels like they've just changed direction there.
Yeah, and that could just be a creative decision, and which is totally fine. But yeah, I honestly, and maybe this was my own doing here, but I was like, wait a minute, you got Roxanne who replaced Liv in the tag team title match at SummerSlam in New Jersey, where Liv Morgan's from. Liv Morgan's been out, and I was over here thinking like that would be. I told my wife, I'm like, it would be pretty cool if you had Liv return then. But then again, we don't know the extent of her injury and how long she's supposed to be out. I think it's a few months.
Yeah.
Too soon for her to come back. That would have been a great opportunity. She would have gotten a huge thunderous pop for her return. Roxanne and Raquel did really good together. They work really well together. Actually, it's interesting how well they work together. Kind of bittersweet. I'm happy that Alexa got a tag team title with Charlotte. I like Charlotte's character development better with Alexa here. I think I
Yeah.
like that pairing. We talked about that before. I do like that pairing. I was bittersweet because I also felt like Roxanne and Raquel were just kind of now getting into the groove of things as tag team champs. And I mean,
Yeah.
they'll still be melding well together. But that was,
It
I
felt
don't know
like it
what
was
you thought.
early. Like when it happened, I wasn't super surprised because obviously
Mm-mm.
they've been building
Yeah.
Charlotte and Alexa up, and it was SummerSlam, so I wasn't super surprised. A little disappointed though because I did feel like this seemed like it was awfully early to take the titles off because you just had Roxanne kind of step in to fill the space of Liv Morgan. That's supposed to create a whole bunch of controversy. I thought it would be better for the storytelling if when Liv came back, she had had a successful tag run and was still the tag champion. And that way it could be, there could be controversy of, well, this really isn't your title anymore, Liv. I've been defending it.
Yeah.
And
Like
then
I
they've had
defended
that
at
dissension
SummerSlam,
and
and
Raquel kind of torn between, hey,
like,
she
she's
did help
right.
us keep this and she is right. All that's gone by having them drop the title.
I mean, I guess they could still kind of make an argument. I mean, I'm curious. You know what it did though? This match did do a great job of. It kept me intrigued, and I am curious to see what's going to happen. Like what the fallout's going to be on Raw. Like, is Raquel going to blame Roxanne for it? Because I think Roxanne took the pin. So is she going to take the blame for it? And are they going to try to boot her out of Judgment Day? Or I don't know, right? Like who knows? Like
Who
I'm
knows?
curious, but it did
But
its
we'll
job,
see.
I guess.
It did.
Yeah, speaking of jobs, Sami Zayn beat Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Again, Karrion Kross losing to, for you young folks that don't know what I meant, jobbers are the guys that just take the pins
Yeah.
for the good guys. So Sami Zayn, yeah, just nothing spectacular, nothing
Nothing crazy
flashy.
happened. And Sami Zayn had a chance to give into the dark side and
Yeah,
didn't.
which I was
And
hoping he would.
won. Yeah,
I
because I was like,
really,
this felt like a waste. This one felt like a complete waste to me because I'm like, you've built up Karrion Kross as, he's this super evil villain that's trying to pull the
manipulate.
worst out of Sami Zayn and manipulate him and bring him over to the dark side. And it doesn't work. Sammy beats him clean. And then he's like, it's over. And that's it.
He was just like, we're done. And Karrion
We're
Kross was
done.
like, okay.
Okay, man. I'll stop messing with you. And that this feud really has run its course, but it did
True.
nothing for Karrion Kross at
I
all,
really,
except make him look like a stooge.
I mean, I honestly, and I love Karrion Kross. I loved him since NXT. I was ecstatic when they brought back his old entrance. I hope they have something more planned for him. I hope there's something more that he's gonna do because I really, really like Karrion Kross. I really want him to be pushed a little bit better in the mid card. I get it. He's gonna have to stay in the mid card because there's a lot of talent in the main event scene. I totally get it, but
But
I wasn't a fan of the match. It just felt like maybe because we had just had like Roman's return match, and then we had the tag titles change for the women's division, and then we had to do this was kind of like the palate cleanser, I guess. But it just, I don't know. This match fell a little flat to me. Not to their fault. I mean, I know they busted their ass and they did their best, and I mean, it was a good match. It was a good match. I
yeah.
was expecting a different outcome, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but not that.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping Karrion Kross was going to win, or Sami Zayn was to turn to the dark side. Like there was going to be something to pay off all of the work that Karrion Kross did. I just feel like he did something to upset somebody in the back, and now they're just burying his career.
I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're
on.
bitter because he brought himself back from the darkness because of social media and stuff, and us wanting
Well,
him
yeah,
back on
it's
screen.
almost like harkens back to like the old Zack Ryder, like how dare you get yourself over kind of thing, because he's totally gotten himself over, and he's got a book coming out, and they showed that on the pre-show, and they were talking about like his life story and all that. So this just feels odd. It feels like, why are you sabotaging this guy?
It feels like it.
And it feels like LA Knight a little bit too, where I'm like, LA Knight, who's done so much, finds himself without a spot on SummerSlam.
There's a few. Austin Theory.
I mean, Austin Theory completely. Yeah, like I don't get it. I don't get it. But hopefully
maybe this is what we get for wanting such a stacked roster on WWE, and they do it, and now it's like, crap, we got to actually do stuff with everybody. Maybe that's what it is,
maybe.
Maybe that's what we get. But anywho, we had Tiffany Stratton defending against Jade Cargill. She did retain. I honestly thought Jade was going to win this match. I really did feel that. I felt this. I don't know. I just felt it was time. But I mean, Tiffany's still super duper over, and I think
Yeah.
that's what led to the decision, which I respect. She won clean. She hit the prettiest
She did
insult
win clean,
ever.
no controversy.
Yeah,
The mismatch is a little sloppy towards the end, like
it was.
that jaded where she kind of rolled her all the way through and then put her foot on the rope and then
Yeah,
was like, "All right," and then did her
it could have been a
pose and
little
then
bit
leaned back.
cleaner, but
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
you know
like,
what?
how would you not notice her feet were on the like you pulled her all the way in and put her legs on the ropes and then you're
But you
like,
know
"What?
what
Her feet
though?
were on the ropes."
I will still say Jade's in-ring work and promo work have gotten immensely
Yes,
better since her debut.
much,
Like
much,
she is
much better.
doing so much better. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before she is women's champion, because I can totally see her as a women's champion for sure. I mean, easily. I think that. And maybe the path would be to Naomi, through Naomi, I should say,
Yeah.
because of the rivalry, but who knows? I mean, who knows what's in the cards? Not I was a little sad, but not disappointed, because I get it. Tiffany's like still extremely over. I mean, the crowd just blows up for her, and that's good. That's what you want in your champion. But this match was good. It was a good match. It was
It
a
was
good flow.
good.
It
Yeah.
Yeah.
Towards the end it did get a little sloppy and that's where I was thinking I couldn't tell if like they got tired, Tiffany got tired. I couldn't tell if Tiffany was sandbagging a little bit because there were certain moves where I was like when they were like Tiffany's out on her feet, she doesn't know where she is, she was kind of
Yeah.
stumbling and falling down and I was like, is she sandbagging her a little bit or is
I
she
thought she
just
got
tired?
hurt
What's
because
going on? Yeah.
she threw her to the corner and she didn't even make it.
Well,
Like
yeah,
she
and
just
she
like
didn't even try
fell.
because I thought she was going to try to like fall into the bottom turnbuckle, and she's kind of slid and kind of laid on the ground. And I was like,
Yeah, it was kind of awkward.
everything was a little strange. So I'm not sure what to attribute. That's why I feel like there's something else happening there that made
Yeah.
it a little sloppy at the end. I don't think
It
that's
looked
Jade's fault. I don't think it was anything that she
No,
did.
not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Jade worked her ass off. Like Jade did awesome. I
Yeah,
think
and I
Jade
love
did
Jade, and
so good.
I think she's doing great. She had a rough start to her
Yeah.
WWE career, but she's doing so much
I
better
think
now.
pairing her with Bianca did her really, really well.
Yeah,
And I think she learned a
absolutely.
lot from Bianca. So,
But Tiffany
good match
retains, still the
overall.
champ.
After that, we had my runner up. I'm going to say my runner up for match of the night, because my match of the night was the main event. But we had Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul versus Jelly Roll, Randy Orton. No surprise in my books that Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre took the victory. Randy
Yeah,
didn't get pinned. Jelly Roll took the pin from Logan Paul, which I feel is
I kind of
probably
figured would happen. Like for
that's
me,
yeah.
that made sense.
It makes more logical sense. As much as we wanted Jelly Roll to win, it would not have made any sense to let him win that match, because what Logan Paul was saying, like he is the outsider, this and that. Honestly, this match went really well. A lot of great spots. I love the frog splash off of the ring post.
Ring post through the
Yeah,
table on Jelly Roll.
Jelly
I
Roll
will.
took that like a champ.
Well, so I will say this though. This is the one thing where I'm not a huge fan of it. I thought Jelly Roll did about as well as he possibly could have in the match. I want to start by saying that. I think like his choke slams always look good. It looked very clean what he did here too against Logan. The issue that I have with it a little bit was you could tell he was really trying to be in position for things.
Yeah,
So he would get in position too early. It was like when he got on the table for that spot and then he
he tucked
immediately
his
folded his
arms.
arms.
Yeah,
And he just laid there and waited. And I was like, well, you got to wait till like he's in the air at least and then tuck your arms in. So it doesn't look like you're sitting there waiting to take the spot.
yeah,
And he did that both times when he took both splashes. He like
yeah,
got his arms tucked and just kind of looked super tense and was kind of looking and waiting and watching. So it was
yeah.
very obvious, but I think he was also nervous. It was
It
like, yeah,
is.
there's all these things that are playing in.
I mean,
I get it. I mean,
yeah,
he's trying not to get hurt. He's super nervous at SummerSlam. This is his first match. So that was the only thing that kind of took away from it because you could really see him just kind of waiting for the spots. And then they did this whole kind of Mick Foley moment where he went through the table and he was like, the security's kind of leading him away and the refs are leading away. And he's like, no, like I got to go back and help Randy. And like fights off and runs back in, which I was watching it with my brother and he was like, yeah, this is like very much like I'm kind of mankind being led away from the Hell in the Cell fighting and then running back up. So and we were both like, yeah, this looks like a copy paste of that. Yeah. But it was a fine moment, a little cheesy because it was like, oh, Jelly Roll, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I enjoyed this match a lot, and yeah, I'll tell you what.
Fun.
I feel like, yeah, I did note that too, where Jelly was kind of already like tucking his arm. But I mean, he's probably like, to your point. I mean, he's probably just nervous. He didn't want to mess up the spot. He didn't want to get hurt. He didn't want to hurt anybody else. And so I think that's where that came in, and I'm cool with it. I enjoyed the match very much. I thought this was a very fun, entertaining match. The crowd was into it, and I mean, I loved every bit of it. Logan Paul. It's funny because my wife and I had this conversation because we're sitting down watching the show, She even said, she's like, she's like, I can't stand him. Like, she's like, he is the most annoying personality in all of everywhere. She's like, but he is so athletic. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
he is so good at he's
that
good.
He is.
He's
Like, you
good.
can't
And
take that away. And
I
that
give
was
my
the
credit to him.
spot. And the funny thing is, Logan Paul and Jelly Roll had the spot of the night.
They do.
Like, that was the best spot for the entire night. It won't be for night 2 because you've got that TLC match that's going to be happening. So that's whatever happens in that TLC match is going to take like spot of the weekend. But for night 1, definitely. Like, I wouldn't have believed you said Jelly Roll will be involved in the best spot of night 1.
Yeah, I agree, and it was such a good spot. And I mean, my kudos to Logan Paul. His frog splash is good. I mean, he can the way he can rotate his body.
Well, it was very Rob Van Dam-esque when he rotated in the air, which I was like, and RVD was so good at doing that. It didn't matter where somebody fell in the ring, and he'd get up there, he'd find them and get his body turned in the right way. So it was very reminiscent of that.
He's no Eddie Guerrero,
no, but, of course not.
I mean,
and he's not quite RVD in my eyes either. RVD is still like, in terms of just kind of the high flying and the spatial awareness and the body control and all that. Totally. And
yeah, but yeah, it was a great match. It was I enjoyed it. Randy Orton did well. I honestly wouldn't have changed anything. I think it was good. I think the finish is what it should have been. It should have been Logan Paul because it gives him more heat, going into the week and just being able to brag about beating Jelly Roll and all that good stuff. So we'll see what they do with Drew McIntyre as well after this, because maybe they'll have another match between Drew and Randy. I don't know, but I was very satisfied with it.
Yeah, and this was my match of the night. And by the way, Drew McIntyre gave like the lightest Claymore to Jelly Roll that I think I've ever seen. I showed it on the replay.
He protected him.
Barely touched him.
He protected him.
So I totally get
Which kudos to Drew for being able to pull back a little bit.
He launched that thing and then just like dink and barely touched him. So good on him. But yeah, this was my match of the night because the main event, I gotta tell you, I know you said the main event's your match of the night. It was, I'll politely call it a slow burn. And it was a more slow than burn for me than I wanted. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so the main event, we had CM Punk versus Gunther for the world title. CM Punk, he naturally got, and no fault to CM Punk. Make sure I say it before all these freaking keyboard warriors start their crap.
Yeah,
he's up there in age naturally. Can he do a 45-minute, 30-minute match? No. I mean, he can't. I mean, hell, The Rock can't anymore. Yeah. Triple H couldn't at one point. That's why he stopped. I mean, even AJ doesn't do a 30, 45-minute match. Like, they just don't, and that's okay. That's totally fine, because the time that he is working in that ring, he's gotten so much better since his return. I've seen him get a lot better. His moves are a lot cleaner. He's connecting a lot better, and the crowd just absolutely was wanting him to win this one. And he came out in the all white. Usually he comes out with some sort of pink for Bret Hart, but he came out in his Chicago colors.
It was the white and the blue, right?
Yeah, the baby blue.
Which I was like, was he doing Fantastic Four colors? I couldn't tell because it was.
Yeah, it was Fantastic Four because of the Thing, because that's his favorite character.
He's clobbering time. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, he's got to be wearing Fantastic Four colors because they had like the white and the blue.
Yeah, so it looked good, and he did well. He really did do well. I think the reason this was my match of the night is they painted it very well. Gunther was dominant the majority of the match because of course he would be. He's the ring general. He's much more athletic at this point in his career than CM Punk is at this point in his career, right?
Yeah.
And my only gripe on the match was how long it took for the blading to occur, because I don't care what people say. I think he did blade. I don't think he busted his nose. I don't think he busted his nose. They say it was his nose. Maybe, but I saw the replay. Like he didn't land on his face at all. I mean, his face was like off to the side. So I feel like he probably did, because even the ref ran out there. I think that's where he got the blade from. Either it was under the desk taped up or it was with the ref. No, but when he did emerge, covered in blood, and the crowd lost it after that, because they did lose the crowd a little bit because it was a very slow match. It was a very methodical beat down, because of course Gunther's matches are typically like that, which is why I think this was a good pairing, because Gunther typically is like I'm going to just slowly just deteriorate you and beat you down little by little by little by little until you can't no more, and then I'm done. And it was like that. He looked very ruthless in there. He did dominate most of the match. CM Punk kept getting his second wins, getting swatted back down, but it wasn't until Gunther was busted open. They try to play it as like, oh, it's the first time he sees his own blood, just like a bully, right? Like when the bully's like, oh my god, I'm bleeding. Like,
well,
you know,
it's
it's like
this Ivan Drago and Rocky cuts him
yeah,
the first time where he's like, oh
yeah,
no, he's cut, and then he loses his confidence and the Rocky rallies
exactly.
against him. Like that's totally the
That's
vibe
exactly
that I
what they
got
did
from this. Yeah,
and that's cool. I mean, that's the story they want to run with. That's the story they want to run with. It was funny because before this match started, my son had come down and he was like, oh, which match is it? And I told him, he's like, Gunther's going to win because, you know, it's Gunther. And I'm like, okay. He's like, who do you think's going to win? I was like, CM Punk's going to win. He's like, why do you say that? And I said, because CM Punk's going to win. Seth Rollins is going to cash in on him eventually. I said eventually. I didn't predict like that same night, but I was like, Seth Rollins is going to cash in on him because that's the rivalry. And I mean, the story pretty much writes itself. Like CM Punk wins the title, Seth Rollins has Money in the Bank, cash in and take it from CM Punk. Cool. So then the match started and CM Punk started his comeback after Gunther was busted open and hit the GTS. And then I was worried they're going to do the same bit he did with Hangman Page at AEW. And then he did it again in WWE too, where he stays down and the person just like falls over him. But I'm glad they didn't do that. And I'm glad he got back up, grabbed him, picked him back up, hit him for another GTS. And I told my wife, I'm like, he's going to win this title. I said, how funny would it be if Seth Rollins was faking his injury and he comes out?
Yeah, and he comes out.
And sure as hell.
Well, and they lingered too long. Because
I was like, there's still 10 minutes left in the.
Yeah, when I looked,
it's 7:20. It's not 7:30 yet.
I was like, huh. Like when it happened, I'm like, there's still time. Like, I mean, it's a PLE technically. Like you can go whenever it's over. But and then they just kept lingering. They kept lingering the camera in the ring. They didn't throw up the little Chiron with the graphic and the go home stuff. And I'm like, something's gonna happen. They're waiting. I was telling my brother, I was like, they're waiting too long. They're waiting too long. It's gonna happen. So when it happened.
Hell yeah, you hear burn it down. Here comes Seth Rollins. At first, I was a little disappointed. They got me. I'm not gonna lie. I got. He comes out in the crutches and the leg brace, and he's like, pretty much telling him like, count your days, because you know when I'm back, I'm coming for you. And you know Paul Heyman's holding the briefcase, and they're like that. And I knew they were gonna do it because Paul Heyman didn't turn around and leave. Paul Heyman gave it away because he stood there and he's watching him. And then Seth Rollins turns around and starts walking out. But Paul Heyman stood there. He didn't move. And then sure enough, he stopped and he just threw the crutches. And the crowd just blew up.
Yeah.
And then he just turned back around, strap one, strap two, coat, beelined it. And I was like, it's happening. And it was so good. It was perfect because CM Punk got to celebrate for all of 5 minutes before Seth Rollins came and just literally stomped his dream out. And I thought that is beautiful storytelling because CM Punk cut off Seth Rollins' victory with the Bloodline at War Games when he returned.
Yeah.
So how poetic that now you come back around full circle. Seth Rollins comes in at the end of a PLE and takes that title off of CM Punk because CM Punk couldn't go anymore after that, and you knew it. Yeah. And he came in, he beat the hell out of him with that briefcase. Yeah. And then it was funny too because he just grabbed the ref like, "Come on, you're coming with me." And she was like, "Oh shoot!" And they just did it, and they call it the ruse of the century, right? But I'm like, that beautifully written. I love that part. That's what put it over as the match of the night for me because I thought I thought he was just gonna say like, "Oh, your days," because I'm gonna come after you. Pretty much like kind of who did the advanced cash in like that. Somebody did the advanced cash in. It's slipping my mind right now. So somebody please in the comments, if you remember or you want to look it up, go ahead. Somebody did an advance. I think it was John Cena, or they did it on John Cena. Somebody did an advanced cash in. They said on this match, I'm gonna cash in on you. Let's go ahead and just do the contract. And I remember I thought that was so dumb, but I was like, cool. That's what I thought they were doing. And they didn't. And it was so good. The crowd lost it. They were happy for CM Punk. They lost it when Seth Rollins went in and swerved everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I was probably less enthusiastic about that. So I thought all of it was really well executed. It was really well executed. I think for me, the thing that sucked was I'm like, Gunther became a backdrop to all of this. And I love Gunther. And I felt like him losing to CM Punk was ridiculous in the sense that he dominates him the whole time, and then Punk rallies and wins clean and beats him. And it's like, man, why are you going to do that to Gunther? And then now, why are you going to now you've completely moved this away from Gunther going for a rematch or anything like that. and he just fades off into the darkness so that we can have a follow-up, presumably Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. They're going to continue that rivalry and then have them do a blow-off match for the title. So that leaves Gunther with nothing to do. And I'm just so tired of him getting the cold shoulder on everything and getting jobbed out to people and having to go out there and make Bill Goldberg look good and then have Goldberg complain afterwards about the whole thing. Like, I felt bad for Gunther because it's kind of left him as the odd man out. But to your point, the whole thing was done great. It was executed really well. I'm curious if it really was like a full on faking of the injury, or if he really did kind of tweak his knee and it turned out to be nothing. And they just were playing on the abundance of caution because they're trying to say it was an act the whole time. And I'm like, I don't know that it was. I think he really did feel something in his knee and tweaked it. And just from his history, he was like, I don't want to go. And
I think they probably did tweak it. I think he probably thought it was worse than what it was.
Yeah.
And then when the doctors checked it out,
like, it's all negative, just rest. And
but
that's all he really needed.
I think Paul Heyman was probably like, no, stay home. And I think this was all Paul Heyman's idea because Paul Heyman's a genius like that. I get.
Well, I'm sure he went and schemed and said, hey, you know what? Here's the best way to repackage this. Let's just do this.
And it worked.
And it totally worked. And it worked out. And it played out really well. It was the big moment, which I'm sure they're going to try to top tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look for.
But we've got the street fight as the main event. I guess that'll be my question to you, Big D. Will we see the double turn tonight? They kind of hinted at that on SmackDown with John Cena talking about, like, thank you for putting me in this position in this dangerous match because it's what I needed to kick my own butt, like, back into where I need to be. And him and Cody had a beer together and they're all happy. I'm hoping that's just a ruse and John's trying to get him to let his guard down again so he can low blow him and have the title. That's what I'm hoping for. But it's kind of feels like they're going to now try to do this double turn, which if executed properly could be cool, but I don't know if it'll be executed properly.
I mean, it can.
Yeah.
It really can. I feel my heart is telling me that I would love to see a heel Cody come out of this because it's the perfect backdrop, right? It's a street fight. So there are no rules. So you're not breaking any rules. You're pissed off because he came in and cheated to take your title from you, a title that you hold near and dear to your heart because of your dad. And this is going to be your one opportunity to get over on the greatest to ever do it. So I think it'll be great, but part of me feels like I'm hoping it's a bloody match. If this one was, I think this was going to put the other one to shame. But I don't know. I mean, I'm torn. I know I feel like Cody's going to win. But if Cody doesn't win, it's going to be because John Cena gets help. The Rock's going to come back or somebody.
I think The Rock's going to be involved in some way.
Some shape or form.
He's been gone too long now. He can't help himself. And I think that, John Cena kind of made a comment on Friday where he was alluding to like all these things weren't my idea. They were somebody else's idea. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, so you're now blaming The Rock. That's what that sounds like. You're blaming The Rock.
He did it for The Rock.
He did it for The Rock. So what I'm wondering is, did Cody really sell his soul? Does The Rock pop in and you think he's there to help?
Because he has the watch.
Yeah. And then he helps Cody instead. And then they both beat down Cena. And that's how you do it. I'm going to go on record saying I think that's what's going to happen. I think Cody will win, but it'll be The Rock coming in, presumably to help Cena. And he actually ends up helping Cody.
Yeah.
So that allows them to do like a proper face turn and somehow undo all the fact that he's been roasting the fans for like the last 6 months.
They made me do it.
So all that will be forgiven. But that's kind of how I see this one playing out.
I mean, I agree. I feel like Cody's going to some way turn. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I feel like we're going to get a heel Cody, and I would love that very much. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I know we also have Naomi, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. I have a feeling Rhea's probably going to walk away with that one.
I feel like you got to let Naomi keep the title a little longer. So I'm going to say Naomi ends up winning with some sort of shenanigans, but I'm going to go Naomi.
And then we have Becky Lynch and Lyra. I think Becky's going to retain that.
I'm going to say I'll go the opposite on this one. I think Lyra wins the rubber match and takes the title off her.
I could see that because then Bayley will be ready to go.
Yeah.
I'll keep it. I'll keep it as Becky. Because there hasn't been. See, here's the thing. There wasn't any big surprises outside of Seth Rollins returning on night one. So I'm wondering
Well,
if they're
the
saving them.
tag champions change.
No, I mean
Yeah.
like surprise, like super shock stuff. Like I
Yeah.
mean, we saw that coming, but
Yeah.
like I feel like there wasn't really big surprises on night one, so I think this is probably where it's going to happen. Solo and Jacob's going to take that.
Yeah. Jacob.
That's going to be a great match. Jacob's going to take that. Dominic and AJ. That's going to be a hell of a match because Dominic has gotten so much better. AJ works well with anybody. I mean, you put him in there with just a mannequin and he'll make the mannequin look good. Like AJ's that good. I would love to see.
Who do you got there?
So I would love to see AJ win. I really would.
Yeah.
But I feel like Dominic's going to win.
I'm going AJ. Like,
yeah.
I'm going AJ because AJ's getting towards the end of his career now. And I think they're going to give him one. This is going to be his
one more title push.
Yeah. This will be
I could see that. Run. I could see that.
And you know, a fun fact, interesting note, and it just shows how people age differently now than they used to. So AJ Styles is 47 years old.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena's 47 years old also.
Mm-hmm.
At WrestleMania 18, Hulk Hogan versus The Rock in the Icon versus Icon match, Hulk Hogan was 48 years old in that match. Hulk Hogan, who looked like he was 60 at that point.
Yeah.
So the fact that you have two men competing, AJ Styles and John Cena, who are 1 year younger than Hogan was in that match, and AJ Styles could probably pass for late 30s, early 40s at this point. It's pretty wild when you see kind of longevity and how they treated themselves.
Well, it's also the supplements and stuff available nowadays.
It's modern nutrition, modern supplementation, and all of that stuff.
More knowledge on how to better take care of ourselves.
Yeah, so that's amazing. I mean, Cena's obviously slowed down quite. AJ's like he's a phenom for good reason. They call him phenomenal AJ Styles, and he really is. He's kind of a special case.
Yeah.
But John Cena obviously has been more banged up, but even the way that John Cena moves versus how Hulk Hogan moved at 48 years old, it's just a world of difference. So just an interesting thought, because I saw the ages and I was like, man, like they're pretty close in age to Hogan was at that point, and they seemed so light years away from each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. It's good. It's cool to see. And like I said, AJ, I won't be mad if AJ wins. I just feel like Dom's gonna have some kind of shenanigans and he's gonna win. So we'll see. After that, we have the match I'm looking forward to the most, the tag team TLC match, 6-man tag team TLC match. You got the Wyatt Six defending against DIY, Street Profits, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and Andrade and Rey Fenix. I'm excited for this match because this is going to be a spot fest. I think this is going to steal the show. My expectation is that this is going to steal the show. It's going to be a very hype show. I hope they have it go first.
I hope it's going for. I think it's going on first. I would imagine it.
I think so. I can't remember, but I want to say it's going to go. I would hope to God it goes first, because I would hate for that match to go on as the co-main event, and then you still have to do the main event after that.
Exactly.
That would suck. But I feel it's too soon. I want the Wyatt Six to retain. I want them to retain.
Agreed.
But something tells me Andrade and Rey Fenix are going to win.
Interesting.
Because of how their momentum right now, and
they got a lot of momentum. I'm gonna go Wyatt Six just because I do feel like
that's why I'm rocking early, I
know it's like you got the Fiend represented, and you're gonna pick against your boy. What's going on?
I don't want to. I really don't. Like, my heart tells me Wyatt Six, but the last PLE I was just picking with my heart, and I lost every single one. So I feel like Andrade.
This just feels
Fenix.
too early. Like, if it does. The tag titles around too soon, like it does kind of devalue them to a certain degree. So I feel like
I think the Wyatt Six are going to retain. I'm going to change it, and here's why: because you have Eric Rowan available.
You have Eric Rowan, and then you also have Nikki Cross,
and you still have Uncle Howdy. Bo can still wrestle.
I was like they're all going to go out, and they're going to be, obviously they don't have any qualms about participating in the match to help their teams win. So I feel like they still have the numbers game, even though you have all of these other individual teams. Wyatt Six.
All right, I'm gonna stay on that then. Wyatt Six.
Unless you also get like,
I have Bray watching me up there.
Surprise! Alexa Bliss did join the Wyatt Six, and she said it helps. I don't know. We'll see. That might be your big surprise for today. Is
maybe
that they like let's be on the down low here and not have her wearing a lot of the gear anymore, or taking away some of those references, and then she pops up and helps them. You never know. But I'm
gonna switch it up then, because I got Bray up there watching me. So
I know he's watching, so you can't.
We'll do Wyatt
give
Six.
Up now.
So those are the matches. Again, stacked card tonight. I feel like there's a lot better matches tonight.
Yeah, this one should be.
This is a more high stakes night because there's a lot of titles on the line. You got the Undisputed Championship, you got the Women's World Championship, Women's Intercontinental Championship, All the matches are title matches.
Yeah, they're all title matches.
I just realized that all 6 are title matches.
Yeah, true that.
It's gonna be a great evening of wrestling.
It shall be. It shall be glorious. And that's what we got for this week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, everyone. Leave your comments as well. If you like what we have to say or disagree with us, you can always just throw them out there. We love to hear from you. Big D welcomes the confrontation.
Yeah, look at my last TikTok post with Hogan. That was great.
I'm like, yeesh. There's haters gonna hate, but it's all good.
Whatever.
We love to hear from y'all, and yeah, that's what we got for today. Enjoy SummerSlam night 2, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Have a great one.